All right.
Always end up like this. All right, I think we're live. Hi everyone, thank you so much for joining us for this live stream. I'm Ellen, the social media manager here at Glowforge, and this is my co-host Dan Shapiro, our CEO. On set with us, we've got a couple people, so we've got some behind the scenes people that are helping with the production. Justine and Jeff are back there. We have Nick, who's gonna be on handheld camera. He's gonna say hi here real quick. Okay. And then also we've got Shell, who's gonna be our content designer today, creating all the designs for us.
Oh,
so we know-
Get Shell on camera.
Switch real quick.
One of the cameras has Shell. We'll get the camera switching, you'll see Shell in a minute.
All right.
There we go. Hi, Shell.
We got a ton of questions about what it looks like to make designs for your Glowforge, so we're going to be printing a whole ton of designs today.
Yeah, it was amazing. We had, I think we had more than 1,000 questions submitted ahead of time, and we looked through, and we're going to get through as many as we can. We're going to take live questions. We're going to follow up with folks who asked live questions afterwards. If we didn't get to them on air, we're going to do as much on air as we can. But that, like, I'm not a designer. How do I design things? That's the one that came up time and again, and I am so excited to talk about this. I got a text message from my younger brother, who, his son, my nephew, is in kindergarten, and he just discovered that his kindergarten has a Glowforge. So if you go like, can I do this? Then the answer is like, Dan's kindergarten nephew can do this, you can do it too. We'll talk more about that.
Yeah, well actually that leads us into our first print. So I think today we're going to be printing on some macarons, which is super exciting. So if you didn't know, you can print on food, but we do have a recommendation for you if you do print on food.
Yeah, it's important to note that if you use your Glowforge for food, then the food should be decorative because there might be other stuff in there that you don't want to eat. Or you can have a food Glowforge, and we know some chefs and restaurants that have actually gone and done that and are making incredible food creations. But right now, let's make some macarons look even better than they already look, which I wouldn't even think was possible.
Yeah, let's do it. So we're going to showcase a little bit about what we were talking about, how you don't have to be a designer. I'm not a designer. I'm the social media manager here at Glowforge, which basically is just a really fancy way of saying that I'm on Instagram, I'm on Facebook and Twitter. If you leave us a comment, you're going to be talking directly to me. So what I'm going to be doing today is making a little drawing to print on the macaron. So this is our trace feature. And I'm just gonna do a little drawing here really quickly. So everything on set is Halloween themed. I don't know if you could tell from Dan's bow tie or from my little bat ears or Shell's bat ears too. But I think we're gonna do some pumpkin themed macarons, right? Yeah, that's it. Let's give him one snaggle too.
So you saw the after. We're gonna do the before now. You're gonna get to see the whole process of how to do this from scratch. And it's so easy. If you're not paying close attention, you're going to miss it, right? Step one, draw something.
Absolutely.
It's pretty easy.
Yeah.
No design software, design tools, all that.
So I just made this really quick print. It's a little bit wonky, so I'm sorry for that.
Technical term.
Again, yeah, so all we're going to do now is just put it inside the Glowforge.
And that's not any sort of special material or anything like that. You can just use a piece of paper. That's just a strap we had laying around.
Yeah.
And so I see a macaron in there, I see a drawing in there, and I see a, and that's it. Let's close the lid and make something happen.
All right, so I think we're gonna cut to Shell's screen really quickly here to show you what it looks like to upload a trace drawing straight into the free Glowforge web interface.
And so this is what you use when you're actually going to print something on a Glowforge. And there's just a few things to learn. In this case, she's drawing a square around the artwork, and then when she clicks place artwork, that actually creates a digital version of that drawing. You can print 1 or 100 times. You could fill this entire, the bed of your Glowforge with macarons and put this same drawing on each one. It's as easy to create 5 dozen as it is to create just one.
Oh yeah,
so,
absolutely.
Now, if you use the proof-grade material that we sell, the settings happen automatically. But in this case, Shell's actually played around with the macarons, which we don't sell, to go find the perfect settings and has saved them, or not saved them. Okay. So she's going to set the manual, and you can see, you can type in a speed, oh my gosh, beta speed. We're going to talk about that in a second, because we had an incredible software release this morning that is going out to every Glowforge owner, past, present, and future, that makes every Glowforge faster. More on that in a moment. So she pointed at the macaron so it autofocuses. It's really important. You don't want to have to sit and fuss with your machine. You want something that can just autofocus for you, like your camera, so that you can click and go. And I think we clicked and we're going, right?
All right, now
There's
we're
a
gonna...
big print button that says let's go get started. And you know, when people ask, is a Glowforge hard to use? There's literally one button. Like there's no wrong button to push here. There's one button. And when it lights up,
you push it. And there it is. So let's push the button. So I have one question that I get asked a lot on social media, which is, does every single Glowforge model come with the onboard camera?
Oh, that's a great question. The camera is what makes the Glowforge experience magical, and every one of our models, Basic, Plus, and Pro, have that. They have the autofocus, they have the free web software that makes it incredibly easy to bring your prints to life. It comes with the ability to print on hundreds of materials, not just the dozens of material we sell, but hundreds of materials, from a river rock that you might find to a cookie that you bought from Starbucks across the street. We're literally across the street from Starbucks headquarters, and I believe that's the origin of this beautiful macaron.
I wouldn't be surprised.
So that's just a small piece of what you get with each and every Glowforge, from the Basic, Plus, and Pro. But I mentioned speed. One of the things that we did this morning, and I'm so excited about, is we made every Glowforge faster. If you, watching this today, buy a Glowforge Basic, it's going to be 40% faster than every Glowforge Basic was yesterday, because our products just keep getting better. We keep building software that makes them better and better, but if you get a Glowforge Plus, the top speed is going to be almost 3 times as fast as before, and if you buy a Glowforge Pro, the top speed is going to be more than 4 times as fast as before.
That's absolutely incredible. That's really exciting, and that definitely leads us into our next question that we get a lot, which is, how long is the average print time? Now that we've just rolled out software that's going to improve every single Glowforge out there, things are going to be, Pros can go 4 times faster, and Pluses are 2 times as fast, is that right?
2.8.
2.8,
Yep.
So almost 3 times as fast. That's amazing. So I think this Glowforge Plus here that we just printed the macaron on is done. So
it really is that
let's
fast.
pull that out.
All
Yeah,
right, let's look at the macaron, and then we'll answer that
fast.
question about how long it is. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, look at how cute
amazing.
this little snaggle tooth macaron is. So cute.
So you saw everything. We drew the image, we put a box around the image, we dragged the image into place on the macaron, we typed in the settings, and then we hit print. And typing in the settings is optional. You wouldn't even have that with proof grade material. Oh, and you push the button. How could I forget the button?
The button is Dan's favorite part.
Oh, it's so cool. I mean, having something where you have this kind of creative power to create such an amazing variety of things that's so easy to use, that's what makes me excited.
Yeah, I think, actually, I'm going to interrupt you for a second, but Amanda just asked on Livestream chat, is it printing on the macaron or is it burning it? So can you explain a little bit about the laser beam?
Yeah, absolutely. Let's get in here really close.
Yeah.
So the laser beam, it's a 40 watt laser for the Basic and Plus, a 45 watt laser for the Pro. And that has as much energy as a light bulb, a 40 or 45 watt light bulb. But what happens is that with the Glowforge, it focuses that down to a spot the size of a human hair. And at that one spot, it can discolor, it can engrave, it can cut, and it just depends on the material, what you're doing. I'll give you another example. My phone. This is really my phone. It's in airplane mode because I'm not supposed to take calls while we're on the air. But you can see it actually engraved into the surface of the material to reveal the metal underneath.
Oh,
and then if I show you a different example, something like a piece of wood, you can see, in this case, we set it to engrave deeper so it actually carves into the material. And to go back to your question about speed, our average print time has always been about 12 minutes. But with higher top speeds, this gets much faster. A giant engraving like this has gone from something that would take an hour down to taking 20 minutes on a Glowforge Pro. So you can use those top speeds to really cut down on those big engraving jobs that otherwise can take a little bit longer.
Yeah. For sure. So, I mean, you just pulled out a whole ton of things that are on our table over here without really explaining what these things are.
Oh yeah, should we do a little tour?
Yeah, we should.
A tour of all the awesome?
All
right.
Yeah.
Why don't you start us off?
Sure. So this is kind of our table of some fun things that we've printed on. We get a lot of questions about printing on materials that you already have. So for example, a belt buckle or Dan's phone or this flask.
Hey Ellen, Barbara wants to know if I can engrave on things I already own, like a belt buckle, a laptop, or a flask.
Wow, you know what?
Not a setup.
How did that automatically get called that? That's crazy. So not a setup. We have a lot more than just, we actually don't have a belt buckle. Yeah, we have more than belt buckles and flasks. But we've also got like glass spice container jars or these acrylic trick-or-treat bucket that looks like Shell probably made for our October-themed live
Was
stream.
that your work, Shell? No, that was Mr. Nick behind the camera.
It was you behind
one.
the camera. I see. That's awesome. So, yeah, but my next question is, this is a Glowforge Plus, right? And this is a Pro. What are the differences between those two? I know we talked a little bit about speed, so we know that the Glowforge Pro is going to be faster than the Plus, which is faster than the Basic, correct? But what are some more differences?
All right, so we'll start out with the Glowforge Basic, because the Glowforge Basic is magic, and it lets you create almost everything that you see here. The backdrop, the things we just looked at, all these cool designs, things like 3D engraving to create stuff like this amazing droid. These are all part of the Glowforge experience. The camera somebody asked about. But when you step up to the Plus, you get a couple really cool improvements. You get a double warranty, so you have a full year of peace of mind, and you get a dramatically higher top speed. So it can now go twice as fast as the Basic, and the Basic got faster too. So the Basic is 40% faster, and the Plus is now going 2.8 times as fast as it used to. And that's really great if you're creating things at home, if you're cranking out projects. It's really designed for the sort of premium home user. And the Glowforge Pro, this is our ultimate offering, and offers a whole bunch of really neat stuff that you don't get on any of the other models. First, it has a solid-state cooling unit, so even if the room's warm, you can run all day long, whereas the Basic and Plus will pause to cool down if you're running non-stop. Second, it has a more powerful laser. The 45-watt laser on the Pro lets you cut up to 20% faster. And last but not least, my favorite is the pass-through slot, which lets you create truly enormous projects.
Like this giraffe!
Like this giraffe! So this giraffe is actually, you can see, printed out of one solid piece of proof-grade cherry plywood. And the way you print this is by putting the material in, starting the print, pushing it through, continuing the print until you've made something truly enormous. We've used this to create furniture. We've seen people create all sorts of, we saw somebody engrave a drum, take wood veneer and engrave something that went all the way around this snare drum to create this beautiful musical instrument that never could have existed any other way. And so the Pro is really the ultimate tool for the home business, for the office, and for scaling your creativity to the next level.
All right, well, let's help people kind of get started and show what it looks like to create a design that's not just using trace. So a lot of questions we get are, do I need design software in order to create designs to print out my Glowforge?
Yeah, and the answer is it's up to you. You can take a design that comes from the internet. There are tens if not hundreds of thousands of free designs. You can go look at the free laser design section of community.glowforge.com to see just a sampling of them. You can draw, you can take something online and print it out and use that, or you can use your favorite design software. When I say design software, that can be anything from fancy software like Photoshop or Adobe Illustrator to office software like Microsoft PowerPoint, which is what we're going to show here, because people don't think you can use office software to make amazing things, but here we're going to show you how you can secretly use your spare time at the office to go create something truly magical. Should I show the results before we get started? All right, so I'm going to take this over and show you on camera here. This is an incredible design that's available for free, and the design is actually not just these clear acrylic coasters, but a beautiful wooden frame that they go into. And what you can see is you get this amazing 3D depth, but it's actually 4 coasters, each one of which you can use separately. And I don't get credit for this. Somebody made a Shapiro family coaster for me, so these are coming home tonight. I do not have the artistic skill to draw, but this can be created, as we're about to see, by remixing designs that are already available online to create something really new.
Yeah, absolutely.
Shell, how is this done?
So we're just going to use PowerPoint to very quickly basically swap this one out so you can make it a big emphasis.
Okay, so we're going to replace the first coaster. The Shapiro family comes home with me, and somebody else, and I can use this as a gift for somebody else.
Yes,
excellent.
We're going to do something all the way from Shapiro's. So just go in here.
So Shell is adding some text in, And
there we go.
This is fun because you can change the font to whatever you want. It doesn't necessarily have to be the default font from Microsoft PowerPoint, but this is kind of where some design software is a little bit helpful. I usually recommend Inkscape because it's free, and there are a whole ton of images in there and text that you can add. So it looks like Shell just added a little pumpkin.
Of course.
Yeah, because we're Halloween themed.
Totally appropriate.
From, I believe, is that the clip art? Yeah, yeah, so it's easy to create something. I mean, I see a whole ton of schools doing this too. Like their students will end up using Microsoft PowerPoint to create coasters, to create images in like a 40-minute period class. And so everyone gets to print on the Glowforge printer for schools. And so it looks like Shell is going to save this out as one of the file types. So we've got 4 file types that we can print as, and any design software that saves those 4 file types, you can print to your Glowforge.
Yeah, we use the term design software very loosely. You can use Microsoft Word. You can go in. I kid you not, I've seen people design for the Glowforge using Microsoft Excel. If you can save as a PDF, if you can use a computer, you can design.
That's true. All right, so
there we go. And okay, so we're going to engrave this on a coaster. And if we can see Shell's screen, she's dragging the image into place right now. There we go. Ooh, are we doing this? Okay, there we go. Plop that right in the middle. And we're going to pick the settings that you stored before. Great. And hit the print button. And you can see now, if we look over at the Glowforge Pro that's going to be doing this, it's auto-focusing, and it does that by measuring the height of the material incredibly accurately and adjusting all the systems so that it's going to print perfectly. It's calculating the design, and because the Glowforge uses Wi-Fi, it's actually sending it down over the connection. And because it uses Wi-Fi, all you need is a power plug and either put it near a window or use a compact filter with it, which you can buy at the time of purchase. No plugs, no cords, no cables, no USB, none of that. And there's a button. Can I do this one?
Yep, you can have the honors. All right, so we're going to send that off to print.
Yeah, and it is going to take us, it's great because it shows you exactly how long you have left. 2 minutes and 49 seconds is the countdown on Shell's screen. And while we're doing that, Sharon had a question for us.
Oh yeah, so Sharon asked in the live chat, I have wooden boxes with slide lids for my business. Can I engrave the wooden lids?
Yeah, wood is amazing on a Glowforge. And in fact, all the models of Glowforge Basic, Plus, and Pro can do that. It'll just go faster on the Plus and even faster on the Pro.
Yeah.
So you can take that wood, you can put it in place. Now, we sell material called proof grade material, and I'll show you an example right here. It has, whoops, there's a barcode in the corner, and it's coated with a material that you peel off so that you get a beautiful print right out of the machine. But you don't have to use our materials. You can actually go and take material from Home Depot, from your favorite supplier, your wooden box, as long as it's laser compatible, and that means it's something like a natural wood or acrylic, not something like vinyl. Not all plastics are laser compatible. Stay away from vinyl. But you can put that hardwood lid, you can put that material in there and go ahead and engrave. You can actually use our settings as a starting point. So you can say, hey, let's use the proof grade cherry settings and see if that works. If you're using your own materials, we recommend taking a scrap piece and doing a couple tests to be sure it comes out just the way you want. This stuff, you just put it in though, works perfectly every time. It's up to you what you'd like to do.
Yeah, well, I mean, this kind of goes off of Sharon's question, well, a little bit off of Sharon's question, but Carrie on the live stream also asked about people getting their Glowforge to pay for itself. So Sharon mentioned that she wanted to use her Glowforge for a business, and Carrie's asking about, what does it look like to start a business with my Glowforge printer?
This is my favorite thing. So we have a few categories of people. We have some folks who are buying their Glowforge to start a business, and that may be a business where they are creating products and selling them on Etsy or eBay at their local craft market. That may be a business where they're charging time by the hour to do custom items. Somebody got an order for a major drink company, ordered something like 1,000 coasters, and they printed those, and that job alone, their Glowforge paid for itself. And other folks have a business that they've already got, and they're doing things by hand, they're cutting, they may be shopping out and having somebody else do it for them, and then their Glowforge helps them scale it. But if you go to our forums at community.glowforge.com, you can read at least hundreds of stories that I can think of off the top of my head of people who are creating or scaling their business. And then actually there's my favorite, which is I didn't set out to make a business at all. I didn't set out to scale my business at all. I just got this, and then people started throwing money at me to get what I want, to get the stuff I was making.
Yeah.
We had one customer who was in IT and said that his whole life he wanted to be an artist. And when he got his Glowforge and started making things, one thing led to another, and he wound up with a private showing. And he actually had a show of his work, and he said one of his heroes, somebody who does laser light shows, ironically, for one of the big name band acts, bought one of his pieces on the boardwalk in Southern California.
Amazing.
So people just come up with amazing ways to create new and interesting things from it, and it turns out there's a market for that. People are really successful at starting and scaling businesses.
Yeah, we actually have a really unique customer who I believe has sent us some footage to talk to you all about what it looks like to create a business with Glowforge. In fact, we've got some doors on set too from Fairy Doors.
Oh,
so yeah.
Awesome. All right. What are we going to show people?
Well, let's show them a little bit about the Fairy Doors and talk a little bit about those.
I showed this before. The first time this came up on Instagram, I could not believe that it was done on a Glowforge. So this right here is actually a piece of wood. I'm going to get back so you can see it in the light. Ooh, there we go. It's actually a piece of wood that's engraved using the 3D engrave capabilities of your Glowforge. And what I love about it is that their process is they're actually taking photographs here. Let's be sure. There we go. They're taking photographs of real and unique doors in England. Here, let's try the mobile camera so we get the focus right.
Technical difficulties.
And then engraving those photos to recreate the door. So if you look at the back, this is just a smooth piece of inexpensive MDF particle board. I think they use proof grade draft board, one of the products we sell. But then you get this incredible replica of an actual door from England with their amazing designs on top. As I understand, even this doorknob was created on a Glowforge.
Yeah,
Although,
everything.
to tell the honest truth, I have no idea how.
I know, right? Sometimes we look at what our customers are doing and think, wow, like how are you even able to think of doing this or think of printing this? And there are so many unique businesses out there, just like Fairy Doors, that are creating truly unique and inspirational products. That if you have an idea, you should just go for it because someone out there is going to love it.
And did you say we had some video from Fairy Doors that
yes,
we can show?
So we have a little bit from the makers at Fairy Doors talking about what it looks like to print on their Glowforge and print their doors on their Glowforge.
Great, let's see that.
Hi, I'm Chris Pallas. And I'm Kevin Zerwacki. And we make the Fairy Doors with Blue Toucan Studios. When we first bought our Glowforge, we thought it'd be doing 2, maybe 3 different tasks and doing them regularly. But more than a year later now, there's perhaps 100 different tasks that we have it do for us that we never would have even thought of doing without having this device in our studio. As artists, one of the things that you always think about is when you're making anything, you buy a new tool and you want that tool to do its job. And with the Glowforge, that tool has superseded everything that we ever hoped it would be.
Yes. Most of my design I just do on my iPad. So I can go to a coffee shop and I can go from sketch to finished vector drawing that the laser can read in an afternoon.
Mm-hmm. I mentally, having never used a laser before, thought it was going to be super technical. It got to the point where you just go, like, I have an idea, I just want to try something. I had an idea to do a picture of the moon on a door. And so literally I spent 20 minutes hunting down some reference off of NASA. I picked out a pixie frame, I put it in there, I threw it over to the Glowforge, and I just said, we'll see. I go off and I set it all up and I hit go. And then the Glowforge is another member of our studio, just plugging away, doing its job while I can move on and do other things.
It is basically the most fun toy we've ever had.
It really is.
We found Fairy Doors on Instagram, and I gotta confess, before I get out of bed in the morning, most days I've looked at the Instagram hashtag because it is so incredible.
Yeah.
Now this isn't the normal, hey, we're a big company, come follow our Instagram feed, although you should because you get to talk to Ellen and it's awesome. This is something different. This is actually real Glowforge customers, tens of thousands of Glowforge users all over the world who are taking what they made and what they're proud of and sharing it, and it is incredible. So I'm looking at somebody's doing a pecan pie, somebody's doing a dog tag, somebody's doing a sign for their consulting business, somebody is doing this purple Exalta Lift Up God's Name sign, there's no place like home, earrings with skeletons on them. The incredible diversity of creators and of creations that we see on Instagram is mind-blowing. By the way, we have not vetted these, and occasionally something surprising comes up in the feed, so our apologies in advance if that happens. I am seeing these for the first time right alongside you. This is really a live stream, as you probably gathered by some of the glitches we had already.
Technical difficulties, yeah.
So this is incredible. In fact, I don't know, what's your favorite thing you've seen on Instagram?
Oh man, you know what I really love is there was this one customer who got her Glowforge, and like you mentioned before, some people get a Glowforge printer without knowing that they're going to start a business or without knowing what they want to do with it. And
I just have to interrupt and say, when we ask people, what are you going to do with your Glowforge, the two most popular answers are, I don't know yet, and everything. By far, those are the most popular uses for your Glowforge. Yeah. I don't know yet, and everything.
And I found that they really do everything. So, but anyways, one of my favorite customers is someone who she was diagnosed with a disease where she needs to take a lot of medication. And she said that a lot of times she would feel really sad when she was taking her medication, and she was looking for custom pill boxes to help her know what day that she needed to take her pills. And she used her Glowforge to customize happy pill boxes for her, and then she started putting them on Etsy, and she was getting floods of messages saying, hey, thank you so much for making this product. I've been looking for something like this because it makes me feel so much better about having to take my vitamins. It doesn't even have to be, you know, something related to something that you've been diagnosed with. It was just really nice to see that people are making meaningful things with their Glowforge.
That's incredible. I think Michelle, that we're pulling stuff out of chat, and Michelle asked, what are some of the most unique prints that you've seen? I got to tell you mine. I was on Twitter, and I saw somebody post something about their Glowforge, and I couldn't figure out what it was. It's something to do with a bird and a ladder. And Shell, do we have this available? Can we do we have this tweet of the robin rescue that came up? This was so amazing, and I don't even know if words can do it justice. Do we have this picture? So somebody created a ladder on their Glowforge to save these robin babies that are trapped in the window well of their house. And then there's a video here of the mama bird airdropping snacks because the baby robins took a while to climb the ladder because it's a big ladder and they're little tiny birds. And then they reported, I think the final one was the birds escaped safely and lived happily ever after. This is not what we thought would happen when we created this company, although it kind of is, because what we thought would happen is that people would get this amazing tool in their homes and in their businesses and in their lives and create things that were meaningful to them, whether it be custom pill boxes or rescue robins. And it is such a joy to see that happen.
It really is. But let's jump into some more design software. I mean, we've got Shell, who's our content designer here at Glowforge. So that's what she does. She creates incredible designs for us to use. You know, she has lots of experience creating designs. I don't have any design experience, but let's see the incredible things that she can make and someone with design software can make. So,
and while we're cutting over, I saw two questions that have come up. A few people are asking about if there's a Black Friday sale coming up.
Oh, yeah.
I will give you the short answer now and the long answer later, which is we are not going to make you wait for Black Friday, and we are not going to make you regret that you bought sooner, because you should start getting to make things right away. So we're going to give you the best sale price of the holiday season right now at the end of this live stream, and we will guarantee that if the price drops, then we'll refund any sort of difference. You get a holiday guarantee and the best price of the season. And and there's a question about the lead time to receive a Glowforge. You can always see that on the checkout page, but in the US it is, I believe, 10 days for the Plus and Pro and 21 days for the Basic, and the Plus and Pro come with free shipping on top of that. Let's go make some more stuff.
Okay, well, actually, we forgot about our coasters.
Oh my gosh!
We were having so much fun showing off Instagram.
We made the coaster.
Yeah, we forgot
to
pull that out.
We didn't look at the coaster.
Yeah.
Okay, so to quick reprise, this is a piece of proof grade acrylic that we used to make the coaster. I'm going to have you peel this off, and while we're doing that, I'm going to show the original design for folks who might have just tuned in and not seen where we started.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
So you can peel off that paper, and while we're doing that, let's get in here and show you what that looks like. So this is a stack of coasters. There's 3, we're creating a 4th, and this is clear proof grade acrylic along with, it looks like proof grade cherry plywood. This design is free in our forums, and it is exactly the sort of thing I love to do. You're going over to somebody's house, you want to bring an instant, thoughtful gift that you can create in a matter of minutes. And you can see this protective paper peels right off to create the coaster underneath.
A little bit of trouble around the letters, but that usually comes off with tape, so.
And we're using just some duct tape to make it easier to peel. And so that's the front. Technical duct tape. Fingernails also work.
Yeah, it's true. Sometimes you have to use your fingernails around the smaller pieces. So I've got a couple. This is live, so I don't want to spend too much time peeling off all of the little letters. But usually I'm a little bit better at peeling everything off.
And so we've just dropped that in front, and there's that Happy Halloween coaster. With another few minutes, we get the paper off the front. There we go.
Yeah,
and that is just an incredible gift to bring if you're heading over to somebody's house for the holiday.
No, it would be amazing. And the best part about that too is that it's just made out of acrylic, so you could replace those coasters seasonally, make new ones, and design them with anything you want to put on them. So I've seen so many people make custom coasters as gifts for couples that just got married, as like anniversary gifts, and seasonal like we just did. There are so many ways you can transform a simple design into something really special, or a gift, or a business.
And remember, the print time on a Glowforge Plus Pro was less than 3 minutes.
Yeah, that was super fast. So let's get back to what I was talking about earlier with having Shell content designs and stuff for us.
Absolutely.
So I'm super excited about this. I always love watching the things that Shell creates. So I think right now we've got a spider mirror. So we don't sell any mirrored acrylic as proof grade materials, but again, you can pick any material that you want to use, and sometimes you have to do a little bit of testing with the settings just to make sure that they're exactly what you want. But if we skip to Shell's scene right here, or her, screen, not scene. If we skip to her screen, we can see that she's quickly making some spider web designs on Adobe Illustrator, and she is one of our content designers here at Glowforge, so she is very skilled at doing this. I would not be able to do this as quickly, but you know, it's a learning process if you do want to use something like Adobe Illustrator as software. But again, there are designers that sometimes sell their designs on Etsy or on other marketplaces that you can also purchase to make designs if you don't want to jump straight into designing something. So here we're going to start with some mirrored acrylic, like I mentioned. So because we're going to make this a mirror, we're going to place this in face down, and when we reveal it, it's going to be really cool. So I'm super excited. I've actually never seen mirrored acrylic before, so this is new for me.
I made the shaving mirror that's in my shower out of mirrored acrylic once upon a time, but I didn't get to engrave it with all sorts of cool stuff.
Ah, okay.
So
well, we've got some
well.
Halloween-themed things, so this should be really exciting. So again, Shell is going to save out that design as one of those file types, which is, we've got 4 file types, which is PNGs, SVGs, PDFs, JPGs. And I'm just going to scoot this down a little bit, make sure that we can actually print on that. So, But yeah, so she's just going to save out that design and then upload it into the web interface, as you saw earlier. And so it makes it really easy to upload your designs and print on anything. And
we got a whole, speaking of print on anything, we've got a whole bunch of questions from chat that you've collected for us.
Yeah.
Crystal asked, does it print on leather? I don't have my wallet with me, but the answer is an enthusiastic yes. How about that shoe? This is actually custom printed from a photograph of the bridesmaid's foot. And then this is a leather glasses case that we have, that's one of the free designs in our forum. Does it print on wood? Absolutely. How about if I go through and I'll talk about that while you show some of the examples?
Absolutely.
So does it print on wood? Absolutely. You can cut and engrave and come up with incredibly beautiful products made out of natural hardwoods, plywoods, all sorts of things. In this case, there's a photograph engraved on the wood, and then on top of that, we have the picture frame itself, which is cut and engraved. We can also do 3D engraving, which lets you sculpt the surface of the wood and create real depth. And Shell, just to embarrass me, also brought out, you can engrave those cherished family memories. In this case, yours truly, with his then, I want to say that's 2-year-old son, dressed as a lobster, and I was dressed as a chef because I have a dark sense of humor. I actually carried him around in a giant soup pot for Halloween.
Yeah, so these are just some other materials that we get asked about a ton, which is acrylic and also glass. So this was completely, this is a phone amplifier. You put your phone on the top.
Yeah, so let's go through. Josh asked about wood. We covered that. Hector asked, does it print on fabric? Absolutely. Most fabrics, natural fabrics are fantastic. Stay away from vinyl. You can even engrave denim, and it's really cool. When you engrave the denim, it turns up white. Does it print on food? Yeah, in fact, you may have seen earlier, we engraved some macarons from Starbucks across the street. Oh, there's some fabric. That's just gorgeous. Thank you, Shell. That was Ashley's question. William in chat said, does it print on metal? It depends on the metal, but lots of different metals print beautifully. Here we have an engraved flask, and here we have a bottle opener that's customized for a wedding. So you can see how beautiful that looks. And even the metals that don't print well straight away, like soft metals like copper or gold, or some stainless steels, there's a spray called Surmark. You spray it on like spray paint, you engrave the spray, and it bonds permanently onto the material. Eliza asked, does it print on acrylic, which we just showed with that coaster that we're doing. And Joanne says, does it print on glass? I think you showed, but I love the way this looks on glass. It actually frosts the glass, and so you can see this beautiful design for your curry powder or anything else. Oop, that's upside down. There we go.
All right. Well, it looks like our print on the spider mirror is ready, which I'm super excited about. Did you want to push the button as well?
I always want to push the button.
Yeah, so go ahead, get that print started. And let's talk more about, you glazed over this a little bit earlier, but August on chat was asking about the compact filter. So let's talk a little bit about what it looks like to vent your Glowforge. So your Glowforge comes with everything you need to vent to a window, but if you don't have a window nearby or you don't want to use a window, then you can always vent to the compact filter. You don't need both. You don't need to vent to a window and the compact filter. It's just one or the other. But some of the benefits about the compact filter are that you can place your Glowforge printer anywhere to vent to it, and it'll take away all the venting things that you need. So it's a great alternative for people who don't have a window that they're right next to. But I'm really excited to see this mirrored acrylic print.
Yeah, about 2/3 of our customers use a window, about 1/3 by the compact filter. It's whatever works best for you. And so this is actually doing what we call scoring. It's moving with lower power and it's drawing thin lines. This is even faster than engraving, so it can produce really beautiful results really fast. And so it's scoring these spider webs to create the final design. And that's one of 3 different techniques you can use: cutting, scoring, and engraving to make your final product. That's it.
Yeah.
It's done.
Wow, that was so fast.
I have no idea what this is going to look
gosh.
like. I'm really excited.
Well, let's pull that one out. So we're kind of making designs that someone could potentially sell, but you mentioned earlier that a large portion of our customers just have their Glowforge printer for fun. So one of those customers, who's like one of my favorite customers, his name is Troy the Maker on YouTube. He's a dad from Nashville, Tennessee, and he always wanted a laser, so he originally bought his Glowforge printer to make jewelry, but then he realized that there was so much more that he could print for fun. Oh, that's so beautiful.
Like spiderweb mirrors.
Yes, exactly, like spiderweb mirrors, that he started a YouTube channel to basically showcase all of the really fun prints that him and his daughter are making together.
Do we have video from Troy?
Yeah, I think we do. I think Troy sent us some video. So let's hear a little bit from Troy.
Hey, what's up? TROY, the Maker, checking in. And I'm going to tell you why about the Glowforge. The number one thing is they got the proof grade material. The proof grade material is super dope. As soon as you put the proof grade material in the machine, it got these QR codes on there that the camera automatically scans, and it puts the settings in for that material. The second thing is the camera. The camera is super duper dope. On your computer, your phone, your iPad, and you can move your design around on the material so you don't cut somewhere that it don't need to be cut, or engrave somewhere that it don't need to be engraved. And also so you can use as much of the material as you can. The third thing is the button. I like pressing the button because when that button lights up, you already know it's time to create something. But my daughter, she likes pressing the button. Like if she around and that mother light up, she's gonna try to run to go press that button. Can I press the button, Daddy? Can I press the button? And I let her press the button. Of course I let her press the button. The fourth thing that I like about it is the referral links. The referral links are super duper dope. So if somebody uses your referral link, they can save some money and you can get some money. And if you get enough referral links, you can basically get your machine paid for. So those are some things that I wanted to share with you on the reasons why I bought the Glowforge and some things that I really, really like about the Glowforge. Thank you.
Troy just makes the best videos. He's always so excited about his Glowforge printer, and I love seeing what he's creating next too. Like every time I see he posts a new video, I watch it, and you know, I clear my schedule just to watch his new video.
And you can see it too on Troy the Maker on YouTube.
YouTube, yeah, absolutely. He also does have an Instagram account too, but all of his videos of his prints are all up on his YouTube channel. It's really fun to watch. And
oh, and you mentioned Instagram. We alluded to this before, but if you search for hashtag Glowforge on Instagram, you can follow the hashtag, and every single day will get better, because you'll see things like that amazing baby photo with the sign. You'll see things like marriages. You'll see a crow with a copyright notice. Maybe not that one. You'll see all these incredible creative things that people make every day. And speaking of incredible creative things that people make every day, it's almost Halloween. We should make a Halloween costume. This bow tie that Shell made for me is lovely and all, but I think we need a little something more. You see my bat bow tie?
Yeah. So
what do we got?
We have some butterfly wings today. So I'm super excited to put these on because they are absolutely gorgeous.
You know, and one thing that it's easy to show a design that's all finished and be like, okay, great, it's just there, but how did you get there? One of the things I love about this design is Shell showed us her working prototype too, which is just made out of this really light cardboard. And it's so fast to print on a Glowforge. It's not like a traditional 3D printer where you're gonna wait overnight, 8 or 24 hours for a print. You can do this in minutes. You can try things out, staple them together, see how it works, and then do it on your final product, your fancy material, the one that you're gonna keep when you're ready.
Yeah, no
Which
need
I think
to
it's
waste
fancy
material.
time, right?
It is fancy time. All right. So, Shell, can you tell us a little bit about what this material is?
Sure, so this is just cardboard that's painted. It's
Okay.
very simple.
Cool, very easy.
And then on my locker I have the design.
Okay.
So what we're going to do here is we're just going to take this design. This is how I build things in 3D, so you can see my reference and then everything in color. All we're going to do is take this element right here. We're just going to hop into the Glowforge UI. We're just going to hit paste.
Okay, awesome.
Create an Illustrator. I think what you were just catching up.
Yep.
You clicked copy.
Yep.
And now you're going over to the Glowforge interface in your browser,
In the browser.
and clicking paste.
Yep, that's it.
That sounds pretty
quick and
simple.
easy.
All right.
Go ahead.
So,
then-
should we put this in the Glowforge Plus or the Pro?
It can work in either.
All right,
and
well,
then
I guess the lid is open here, so we can just stick it in the Pro over here. But yeah, so this is just painted cardboard again, which is super simple. It's really good for a Halloween costume too, because it's not a material that you necessarily need to spend a lot of money on. So there's a lot of creative ways to achieve effects without, having to spend money on a whole ton of materials and having to waste time doing those things too. So it's really great being able to see that prototype beforehand. I see so much prototyping happening on Instagram too. If you just scroll through that hashtag Glowforge, you'll see that sometimes people even create miniature versions of furniture, such as like chairs or desks, and it's really incredible to see that miniature scale right next to a real full-size product. So I have to admit that I am obsessed with the miniature versions of things. We posted something on our own Instagram where we featured a customer who does miniature versions. She actually does doll
Oh, I
kits.
saw the miniature dollhouse stuff.
Yeah, I think it was like
that
a
the
little doll room with a little bed set.
That's incredible.
And pillows and everything.
Oh, the button's up. Here we go.
All right, we are ready.
And yeah, so sometimes the miniature version is a quick prototype. Sometimes
Yeah.
it's actually the thing you're doing.
Oh, absolutely.
So like for these wings, it's real easy to shrink it down, print a test version, and then go create the real deal. So you can see here, it's quickly moving and cutting through the heavy paper to go create the final product. And if we can cut over to Shell's screen to see how long is left, one thing you'll see that's really nice about the interface is it tells you exactly how much time is left on the clock. This is 1 minute, 32 seconds.
I'm going to discuss save settings, but they are now in here.
Oh yeah, before we mentioned, if you have a material that you love and are going to use a lot, let's say there's a beautiful decorative paper and you bought a whole ream of it that you want to use, you can create those settings and then save them so you can use them anytime you want. It's one click away to go do that. And of course, if you're using proof grade material from Glowforge, you don't have to do that because it recognizes it automatically and it's just ready to go. I have to tell you, I still, 5 years later, find it hypnotic to watch a Glowforge in action. From the first prototype, which I saw, it's been almost 5 years since the first sort of rough prototype was together, to now when we have these beautiful polished machines that tens of thousands of people are using to make millions of prints. It is just magical to see that creative process come to life. And what you're looking at What you're looking at is people's creativity, their imagination, their ideas, their dreams, their designs, and there is nothing more exciting than seeing that come to life in front of your eyes. Speaking of which, I think we got some butterfly wings to assemble.
Yeah, so we're gonna do a little bit of kind of cooking movie magic where, you know, like in those cooking shows where things are automatically done and you just kind of like pull them out and just pretend like you did them on set. Well, this is something that Shell has already painted. So you saw that we put in some painted black cardboard. And so now Shell has taken other colors and painted cardboard as well to kind of give that butterfly effect. So we're gonna be able to pull that wing out there and paste it directly on the rest of this. And this is just kind of stapled and glued together, and it makes a perfect Halloween costume. I mean, this is super beautiful. I'm very excited to wear this. Or maybe you should wear this, Dan. I don't know.
Can we take a quick poll of the audience? Do they want to see Dan in the
or
wings
Ellen?
or Ellen in the wings? Tell us in 1 minute.
Right, because we're pulling out the wing right now.
Here we go.
All right. So we're just going to add a little bit of an adhesive right now to the wing. Obviously, you got to tape it a little bit. But Shell's going to bring that right over, and we are going to paste that. Yeah.
All we're going to do is
put that on the back.
Oh my gosh. That is adorable.
So cute. I love this.
All right, tally the results, Justine.
Oh,
I get to wear the wings, hooray!
Okay.
That was not what I was expecting. All right.
I mean, I was expecting that. I wanted to see that. That would have been my vote.
I'm going to flutter around the rest of this live stream
We
with
little
those
bit of
wings in place. Oh, look at that.
The body fell off.
Look at that. So I think in order to work properly, I think I kind of have to bounce, right?
Yeah. I was just about to
Gotta-
say, I think
gotta
you need to
flap the
jump
wings.
and
That's
kind
right.
of fly around. Yeah. So we, again, we just sprayed the glue. So
If
sometimes.
you're just joining us, this is how I usually look. This is just part of my everyday apparel. Yes,
yeah,
exactly.
of course. Yeah, I see you stroll in the office all the time, flapping
Butterfly
your
wings
Yeah.
in full effect.
And
Yes.
toad and everything. Yeah, but so this is a really fun project I think that someone could do with their kids, and I know that we have a lot of customers that have family-oriented projects and also a lot of teachers who use their Glowforge printer in their school. So can you tell me a little bit more about kind of like safety? You know, what does it look like to have a Glowforge printer in your school, in your home, with your kids?
Yeah, I mean, every kid is going to see this and want one of their own. I know my children are going to see this and laugh their tails off. And if a child would like to do this themselves, there is no reason that they can't, because it is easy enough and safe enough for them to do. In fact, the Glowforge Basic and Plus are both Class 1 laser devices, same as a DVD player. So rated and certified for use at home. In fact, they're tested to UL standards by TUV. This is something you can feel really comfortable putting in your home. Now, like any tool, it's something where you want to have adult supervision in place. I'm not used to my backpack here. Where you want to have adult supervision in place, but you know, it doesn't take very much because it is so simple that children can use this. My twins are 11 now, but they've been making things on home lasers since they were 6 or 7. And I mentioned earlier in live stream, I just found out that my 6-year-old nephew's kindergarten has their own Glowforge. So this is something you can put in a home, you can put in a school, you can put in a makerspace, you can put in a library. Now the Glowforge Pro is actually a Class 4 laser device. Because the pass-through is an opening where you could stick a pencil in or something like that, it requires more safety precautions. It actually comes with training materials so that you can use it safely. And somebody who's gone through those materials, an adult who's gone through those materials, needs to be there at all times. But it also comes with safety shields, which you can screw in to close that up and close up all the openings. So the Pro is a better choice for schools where you're going to be in the higher grade levels. The Plus is really a great project, a great tool for the lower grade students.
Absolutely, yeah. Get through those prints quickly because those kids, everyone wants to get their hands on it.
Everybody wants their butterfly wings right away.
Yeah.
Yes.
Actually, I think that one of our customers, Brandon, has a Glowforge and sent us a little bit of video. He's a teacher, so
yeah.
Brandon is a STEM teacher. He teaches K through 8. He's got like a STEM class after school, a makerspace that he has a Glowforge printer in, and they do all sorts of really fun prints. And I think I most recently saw them doing some fundraising for their school, printing some things on their Glowforge. So
you know, let's look at Brandon. We can talk about Brandon afterwards.
Yeah. So right now we're going to show you Brandon, the teacher, who's a STEM teacher in Celebration, Florida.
Western, and we've been using our Glowforge here at my school. And our favorite thing that we've made so far is our marble mazes. We've designed them in our software. Pop it in here, about 3 minutes, cut them out, press the magic button, and perfect.
ta-da, movie magic, your wings are gone. They've been taken, I'm sorry.
That's a little rain cloud over my head. Well, we were talking about how that's really amazing in the school, and some of the school curricula that people are using with this, whether it be in art, whether it be in science, whether it be in engineering. It's incredible to see where that goes.
Yeah, absolutely. It's so much fun to see teachers on Twitter posting about all the incredible things that their students are making. And I know a lot of teachers are surprised because sometimes their students even know more about the Glowforge than they do. Like I saw someone on Twitter posting saying, you know, I didn't think that my student could print on a laptop, but he came in today and he just did it.
Yeah.
It's always fun to see that happen.
The custom engraved laptops are stunning. I think the most common result is, really? Like,
yeah.
you did that?
Are you sure you want to put that in there? Yeah, no,
It's amazing.
but it's completely safe. And we've seen it. We even have settings for it as well on MacBook Pro, automatic settings that you can put your Pro in there and then print on.
Absolutely. And I think we've got another design we can do. We've got some bats. In fact, we've got an infestation of bats over here if you look on the wall. What if we knock one of those out real quick? But instead of doing it in paper like we did there, what if we did it on stone? This is one of my favorite materials to print on because you can go take, like I've got right here, this is a tile from from I think Home Depot or for Tiles for Less down the street, and it costs something like 49 cents, but it prints beautifully and you get this gorgeous contrast. If we jump over to Shell's screen, we can see that simple interface again that makes it as easy as grabbing a piece of clip art, copying the clip art, and then pasting it so it's ready to go. And that design process lets you create something really magnificent. So we're going to create this Halloween bat coaster here. Just dragging it into place. And you can choose, you can't cut stone. It does say cut, but stone doesn't cut, but you can absolutely engrave it. So we're going to engrave it right there. And actually, why don't we do this at the Super Pro speed? As long as, like, for those of you who missed, one of the most amazing things about owning a Glowforge is that it is a product that gets better and better and better. We love improving our products instead of obsoleting them and telling you to go throw it in the landfill and go buy a new one.
Oh, yeah.
And so this morning we released something for all of our customers, a beta test, that has our basic going 40% faster, our Plus going 2.8 times as fast, and our Pro is going more than 4 times as fast as top speed. So we're going to grade this in a Pro at top speed, and you're going to see the head can move incredibly fast, which not only can make your print shorter, but it can also give you a really delicate touch, because when it's moving fast, you can do things like really light engraves on paper that weren't possible otherwise. So it actually gives you almost more precision in terms of what you can do. We've got customers doing detailed 3D engraving at super high speed, all sorts of stuff. But your Glowforge comes with lifetime free software to print and updates like the magic that we just unleashed this morning. So again, if you buy Glowforge now, you are getting the 1.4, 2.8, or 4.2 times speed improvement for the Basic Plus and Pro right on your doorstep from day one. And so we ready to go engrave some bats?
All right, time to print some bats on some coasters. I'm so excited for this too. I love seeing prints on stone. They're always so fun and interesting to see when people react and say, wow, you can print on stone too, that and metal and glass as well. People are always really surprised to see that you can print on those things.
Yeah, and you know, to go outside or go on a hike, pick up a river rock, come home and engrave your favorite saying, a child's name on it. Like, there's nothing that compares to that kind of spontaneous creativity that makes things really personal. Mm-hmm. And so, we're waiting for the button to light up. Again, just one button on the machine. When it lights up, you push it. It's hard to get anything wrong.
Yeah, no, there's no problem with that. Selena just asked us on live chat a little bit about 3D photos. So, you know, we've got a couple things about this. So there's 3D engraving, and then there's also photo prints. So
the way this works is you can either render your photo in black and white, like we have right here, or you can tell your Glowforge that you want the black dots to be deeper, the white dots to be lighter, and everything in between. and that gives you a 3D engrave like this. So the answer is absolutely yes. You can use your Glowforge to carve out truly spectacular 3D carvings, whether it's from a photo or a design. I think we mentioned before that actually these fairy doors, who we showed a little video footage of, and who you can find on Instagram, I think it's the fairy door on Instagram. This is actually a photograph that they took of a barn door in England that they then engraved to go create this incredible design.
Yeah.
And let's see, do we have a, no, we've got our slate coaster loading.
Yeah, we're ready to start printing on some bats. We're about to get batty.
All right, let's push the button.
All right.
And this is going to show you something I don't think we showed before in this live stream, which is engraving. When it engraves, it actually moves back and forth. And you can see how fast this is moving, taking advantage of that high top speed. It's going left to right, and it's pulsing up to thousands of times a second to give an incredibly precise, high-resolution image that it's going to engrave on this solid stone. And oh my gosh, we've only got 5 minutes left.
Oh,
We've got a lot to cover while the bats are printing. How long
Yeah.
are the bats going to take? 3 more minutes, all right.
Perfect, we'll get done with that.
3 minutes of last minute questions.
Yeah, well.
Ken says, I have my credit card out. Can we have the discount
Yes,
code?
Ken, let's give you the discount code. So the discount code is glowforge.com/OCT, OCT, live discount, LIVEDISCOUNT. Hopefully I spelled that right out loud. But the
I
discount
think we're
is.
going to put it on the screen too.
Okay, perfect.
And here's the thing I get to do as CEO. We are not going to make you regret this purchase. If the price changes the rest of the year, we plan for this to be the best price that we offer.
Yeah.
And should that change, you have my personal guarantee. You'll send a note to support@glowforge.com. We will refund you the difference. We want you to buy with absolute confidence now, because if you get this today, you can start doing amazing things right now. It takes 30 minutes from the minute the box arrives until you're holding your first print. It's that easy to set up. And what you're going to find is that the creativity that comes from your hands, the creativity that you see from yourself, from your family, from your business partners, from anybody who you work with, the imagination that comes to life with this product is like nothing you've ever seen before. And when we ask people, like, what are your regrets? One of the number one things we had is, I wish I'd done it sooner. Because the life-changing creativity that comes from owning one of these things is something that absolutely cannot be missed. And now is the time to have a homemade holiday. Now is the time to create your gifts instead of buying them. Now is the time to sit down with your family and make meaningful memories together. Not the plastic odds and ends that you buy from the store, not yet another gift card. Something that you create that has real meaning, that is personal to you and your family, and I want you to have that right now. I do not want you to have to wait. So that discount, glowforge.com/OCT live discount, that's the best price that we're going to offer all year.
Yeah, and that discount code is good until the end of the month. So if you want to show, your family members, if you want to send it to your friends, if you want to send it to business partners and say, hey, look at this really cool Glowforge printer, I want to show you what it looks like. And because we know it's a big purchase, we know it's a huge decision, and we know that a lot of people in your lives are involved in it. So we want you to be able to have time to show them what it looks like to print on a Glowforge printer and make the decision that you need to, so that you can start creating right away.
Absolutely. Oh my gosh, we've got 3 minutes left. Making my mark says, can I make keychains? Oh my gosh, so many keychains. I love the keychains people make. In fact, when I said you're going to be holding your first print in 30 minutes from the time that arrives at your door, the first thing we have you do, it's called the Gift of Good Measure, and it's this amazing keychain that's got rulers and like curves on it, lets you measure all sorts of different things. It is super fast, it is super easy, but you're not going to stop there. That's just the first thing, because it is so easy and delightful to make keychains and all sorts of things that are meaningful to you and your family.
Yeah,
Otis, you have to purchase today to use the discount. You need to purchase before the end of October.
Yep, that's right.
Let's see. B. Townsend, will your Black Friday pricing be lower than today's discount code? No, it will not.
Yep.
And as I said, you have my
Already
personal
talked about that.
guarantee. If you find anything to the contrary, we will refund the difference.
Absolutely.
And I think, are we done? We're almost there. Oh no, we're halfway through the second bat. So we've got time for a couple of more questions.
Yeah, so what other questions do we have just floating around from chat that maybe haven't been answered yet? So,
let's see, Selena asked about 3D engraving photos onto wood. Somebody else asked, we touched that before.
Yeah.
Bruce asked, can I use the material that I purchased from a local store like Home Depot or Lowe's? Do I have to order through Glowforge? Absolutely. Buy your material wherever you want, as long as it's laser compatible material. That's things like natural hardwoods and acrylic. not things like vinyl. Don't cut or engrave on records, it'll damage your machine and it's unsafe. But as long as you buy materials that are laser compatible, you can buy them from anywhere, and they're incredibly fast and easy to use with Glowforge.
We purchase a lot of materials from Amazon when we do things too. Like I think those little glass jars are from Amazon as well. It's really easy to find laser compatible materials. One thing we didn't talk about was the community forum enough. So being on social media, I get to be in and all throughout all of the incredible things that our customers are making. The community forum is one of those places. It's community.glowforge.com, and there are so many other incredible, amazing people who have already done so much experimenting and testing so that you don't have to do any of the work. And they share all of their settings, they share all of the materials they've been working on, or places that they've purchased. And it'll be really easy for you to just jump in. I definitely recommend checking it out, especially if you're looking to be printing on your own materials. It's a great resource, and I love looking at all the incredible things that people are making.
It is unbelievable what you can do with just a few minutes on a Glowforge. And I think we're out of time. So we've got that coupon code. I think we've got the video. There we go. Glowforge.com/OCKLive discount. The code expires at the end of the month, but we're going to be here to help. Any questions to follow up, just send an email to support@glowforge.com.
Yeah.
We'll stay in the chat for a little bit to answer questions that may happen. And thank you so much for joining us here today. We're here in Seattle. It's actually sunny. You can go look. We had a rare moment. It's like 46 and sunny.
I know, it's so nice today.
It is an inspiring day to talk to people about creating things.
Yeah,
so thank you for joining us.
Yeah, thank you so much. Bye.
Bye-bye.